Hello, good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to Business Live. Coming up on the program, trade consultant appeals to President Akufo-Addo to appoint a new trade minister who will pursue the One District, One Factory project to its completion.
Finance Ministry can have all the financial policies and the macro whatever. If we don't have a good Minister of Trade who will condense these fine policies into working, we'll be joking as a nation.
Chief executive officers of local businesses unhappy with inconsistencies in decisions surrounding Ghana's debt exchange program.
Government should come out one time after he's done his research with committees and everything and say, this is the way we're going, not change your position from one day to the other. Because pensioners complain, okay, this one is not part of it. Because this one, we are looking at it and so, why?
And a bit later in the bulletin, today's episode of the Joy Business Journal, we explore how some craft businesses in the Ashanti region have captured both the local and international markets.
Point in time, maybe Musuka say, you should go and find other job and then leave your boss, because you can't be still working with your boss and madam, you are growing, so you need to find a well-paid job.
Details of these and many others coming your way in a moment. Please stay. And those were your latest commodities updates. I am Pious Kojo Backah. Let's now take a look at our stories, which of course is a breaking news coming through, which has to do with the resignation of Trade and Industry Minister Alan Tremantin. As it stands now, news indicates that the president has accepted his resignation. And letter of that statement from the presidency reads, captured President Akufo-Addo accepts Alan Tremantin's resignation. The President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on Friday, 6th January 2023, accepted the resignation from office of Mr. Alan Tremantin as Minister of Trade and Industry. This was after Mr. Alan Tremantin on Thursday, 5th January, informed the President personally of his decision to resign and subsequently submitted his letter of resignation to him. Now, the statement continues by saying President Akufo-Addo thanked Mr. Tremantin for his service to his government and to the country and wished him well in his future endeavors. It concludes by saying the President has asked the Minister of Finance, Mr. Ken Uforiatta, to act as caretaker minister at the Ministry of Trade and Industry until a substantive appointment is made. And this is signed by the Director of Communications, Eugene Ayin, there. All right, so on the back of that, the search for a new minister, that's the trade minister, has begun, and this was after Alan Tremantin tendered in his resignation to President Akufo-Addo. But what should guide the president in nominating a new trade minister for consideration by Parliament? George Yafe has more.
The appointment of the trade minister is the sole prerogative of the president, Nana Akufo-Addo. He will have the final say as to who he deems fit to replace Alan Kojo Tremantin. But for many, what should influence the president as he moves to name a new trade minister? Should it be about the personality or competent, or someone who has the deeper understanding of the work at the trade ministry? And what about those who are worried about the fate of the programs that the former minister Alan Tremantin directly supervised? And what will happen to those programs? The trade minister's position is a very important portfolio in government, looking at the role the minister plays in cabinet and even the economic management team. Well, maybe it would not be long as we all get to know who will be that minister and whether he or she will have to go to Parliament for the necessary scrutiny.
And reacting to the development, trade consultant Alex Apaben called on the president to nominate someone who can efficiently mobilize trade and finances or to improve the balance trade deficits of the country. He spoke earlier on the marketplace.
Minister of Trade, though I concede, is in the belly of Ministry of Finance. Yet, if you ask me, the leg of Minister of Finance is trade. And I will say that it is a tripod: Trade Ministry, Agric Ministry, and Finance Ministry. Minister of Finance cannot do anything without the active participation of Ministry of Trade, headed by the minister. So if the Minister of Trade is moving around this time, indeed, if it is true, then one will ask, what is happening? And that what is happening answer can affect the market. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so in your view, who should the president nominate at this time?
The Minister of Trade is the working leg and hand of Minister of Finance. Finance Ministry can have all the financial policies and the macro whatever. If we don't have a good Minister of Trade who will condense these fine policies into working, we'll be joking as a nation. And our part of the world, we think Minister of Finance is the alpha and omega. No. Minister of Finance, you are only there to make sure resources mobilization and distribution. But the workings of the Minister of Finances is trade. Trade does everything. So you need to settle on a good Minister of Trade, and your finance can go to sleep because the Minister of Trade is doing everything to make sure export is done, import is balanced, and goods and services are at the helm of the affairs of the nation. And that's all we need to make our balance of payment balance in favor of the nation. That's it, not Minister of Finance.
Now, some local business chief executives, officers are bewailing the inconsistencies in decisions surrounding government's debt exchange program for an IMF deal. According to them, government should broadly consult the business and labor community for a firm stance necessary to largely support the Ghanaian economy. They spoke to Joy Business at the maiden edition of the Magdan Business Forum here in Accra.
In accordance with the debt exchange program, the CEOs at the forum urged the government to be proactive in its engagement with diverse stakeholders. Former boss of defunct UT Bank, Prince Kofi Amoabin, stated that a concerted effort is crucial for economic recovery.
The problem I have with all these things is that the government should come out one time after it's done its research with committees and everything and say, this is the way we're going, not change your position from one day to the other. Because pensioners complain, okay, this one is not part of it. Because this one, we are looking at it and so why? Get grace with the full facts and come out and then explain to the people one time, this is why we're doing it. And if you have to even withdraw, come back and say that we had to change because we've realized that so and so, and apologize for it. Because you can't just throw any information to the people. It has to be on sound basis, and you, of course you can make mistakes, but at least come out openly and apologize for it, because this is not what I said. Because certain things, we won't go to IMF, then we'll go to IMF. We won't do haircut, then we'll do haircut. Really, that's not the way to respect Ghanaians.
On his part, Managing Director for FBN Bank Ghana, Victor Yawasanti, explained that the program has affected the operations of the bank.
We all know what happened at the beginning of the year. Our debts went up. Revenue didn't come as much as they thought. New taxes that they thought they could roll out didn't happen, and then we were kicked out of the international market. It became a self-fulfilling prophecy where one thing led to the other, one thing led to the other. We got to a position we knew at this point we cannot pay. It's going to affect everybody: the country, private sector, public sector. Everybody's in it. It has many implications. With the regulator and central bank about how we manage the liquidity. Because if we don't have liquidity, we can't support the private sector.
Former president for the Association of Ghana Industries, James Ejay, entreated the government to strengthen its industrialization program in order to boost the economy.
And we think that what we're looking for, or what we need as a country, is boosting local production, supporting indigenous Ghanaian businesses, particularly in manufacturing. Government must come out boldly, support commercial agriculture, support industrialists who want to go into agriculture. What we've seen again in the past few months had been business owners who have decided to go into agriculture and then produce their raw materials so that they will reduce the reliance on raw material importation. Unfortunately, local businesses, especially in the productive sector, manufacturing, depend so much on imports, and over, 90% probably of manufacturing businesses in the country import raw materials. And these are some of the challenges affecting our currency, the stability of our currency.
The goal of the Maiden Magdan Business Forum was to bring together the business community to discuss important issues affecting the economy. For Joy Business, James Ishen.
A while longer on the Magdan Business Forum, the Chief Executive Officer of Magdan Group of Companies, Daniel Macaulay, has lamented the ineffectiveness of local content framework for Ghanaian businesses. According to him, a strong content base for businesses will create employment and promote growth of domestic manufacturing industries. He spoke to Joy Business at the maiden edition of the Magdan New Year Business Forum.
Well, you see, we have had a very weak local content laws and local content spirit. For me, if you look at, we can go the Nigerian way. You see, you go to Nigeria, local content is very strong. And it's also about time local businessmen supposed to have a big say in policy. And it looks like the whole business community is sitting back, watching on to the politicians and government to take decisions for us. I believe that it's also about time we support government. We support government with our resources and our ideas. So for me, we have to strengthen the local content base. I thought it wise to bring some few businessmen together for us to brainstorm, for us to at least see what we can do to support the government. And also, if we have any ideas, we take these ideas to government to see how they can buy into our ideas to make sure that the business environment become a very enjoyable one. Let me use the word enjoyable one. Yeah.
Now, young people without jobs have been advised to harness their talents in the visual arts industry to support themselves. According to educators and business owners, the art craft can contribute to poverty alleviation and money-making when used effectively. Love FM's Mona Lisa Frimpong explores how some craft businesses in the Ashanti region have captured both the local and international markets.
After completing senior high school in 2014, Eric Dadzi was unsuccessful in searching for jobs with a group of friends. As a visual arts student, he landed a job quicker. From painting, weaving, sculpture, and leatherworks, these skills made him the preferred person for the job.
Works and some of our works, the painting works, I shown it to her, so I made it train into the qualities in me, so I don't know madam or the farm.
Currently, there are slots at Eric's workplace. He has encouraged some of his unemployed classmates to join, but they are refusing. They lament the work is tedious and pays little.
At a point in time, maybe Musuka say, you should go and find other job and then leave your boss, because you can't be still working with your boss and madam, you are growing, so you need to find a well-paid job.
In 2008, Aisha Apabezi Akwete, an arts teacher, thought of making a living out of her artistic hobby. She wove bags and gave them to friends. Gradually, she started charging for her services. This became an essential boost to her salary as a teacher.
Then I realized, no, this thing, many people are ordering. Many people are ordering. People keep asking me, it's nice, it's beautiful, I want some. Can you do some for me? And I made some for them. So it wasn't actually the first instant what I wanted to do, no. But per the interest, then I thought, let me give it attention and let's see.
But her colleagues working in higher institutions belittled her craft.
And I met one of my classmates in the banking hall. He told the other person, oh, me na course back home. Me sumi course nibi. Then when the lady left, come and ask me, Now when we university, we buy now beton bag our own ferry na.
Currently, a number of arts graduates are making a living for themselves. Samuel Ansu Jr., a packaging expert, has for about 11 years explored and tested different packaging products. He has been providing packaging solutions to businesses over the years.
You will realize that many of the students who finish packaging at KNUST end up completing and going to seek out for jobs. But I later sat down and I realized that there are a lot of our local stuff, good things that can actually be packaged and brought, when properly branded, can actually match up on the international market.
Samuel uses recycled local materials in designing sustainable product packages.
The whole conversation is also about sustainable packaging, where we use many of our local materials, using them for packaging. You understand? So, for example, on our stand here, you see something about coconut. For example, the coconut, after drinking the coconut, what we do is that we throw them away. But we've also realized that with a little innovation, that can become a storage for even coconut oil that can be used in the kitchen. Do you understand? So, those are the ideas that we are exploring.
After having taught visual art for 24 years, Aisha Abba Akwete observes the arts course has not been accorded the support and respect compared to the sciences. But she believes visual art has the tendency to reduce unemployment in the country.
If visual art is well taken care of, if the visual art students are groomed well, if they are really taught what they are supposed to be taught practically, and stop the plenty theory subjects that are compounded on them and make them useful. We use the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain as well. So we are really specially made. We can create a lot of businesses.
Industry players are currently embarking on a project to encourage the study of arts. They are positive young people trained in the field of study can be gainfully employed, contribute to and benefit from the economic growth and development. For Joy Business, Mona Lisa Frimpon reporting.
Hello, welcome back from that break. This is Business Live with me, Pious Kojo Backah. Now, the prices of stationery in shops in the central business district of Accra has shot up due to the high import duties as well as the cedi's instability. Traders say the high cost of stationery items is deterring parents from purchasing their items, thereby affecting their sales. They are, however, pleading with government to put in measures to curb the situation. Akofa Atipo visited the market and has come through with this report.
Visit by Joy Business showed that traders have stocked their shops with pencils, exercise books, textbooks and other stationery items, but parents are hesitant to purchase them due to the astronomical increase in prices as compared to last year. Traders attribute the situation to the high import duties as well as the cedi's instability.
The business is still the same. It's still the same. Just parents are really suffering because Christmas every year. Parents are coming to buy books for their children because this is the first term, which is not normally the first term should be September. September they will buy that one in September and then come now. But this time, no, even when you are coming from the road, who said there is the traffic, there is nobody on the road because school fees, as to uniforms, and everything has increased. And yes, as at last year, none of excise book here 260, and then it's 700 cedis. So, and yes, and better, sir.
I think it's okay, but it's like comparing the pricing to the other, the previous prices. The prices has gone up a little bit because of the dollar issue, and because of that we are facing a little bit challenges. And at the same time, there's also the increment of the duties at the harbour, and because of that, things has gone up. And I believe that the parents are not finding it easier way, to buy the items from their children. And one thing that I would like to, to say that we appeal to the government to do something about the duty And if there's any way, any measure that they will try to implement to make the dollar come down, I think it will help us.
They are coming small, but some of them, when they come to you see the price is high, the price high. Some of them, the schools have given them the price already, and comparing the price from the school and here is like quite different. Just one city. So when you give them the price from here, someone is buying one, you to give him to maybe wholesale price, which is not done that way. So that's what is causing this problem.
Chairman in charge of Top Road and Okainshi Stationery, William Adakwa, bemoaned the state of the business, indicating that if measures are not put in place, most stationery shops may collapse.
Some parents from the private schools have started buying books for the awards for the academic year. Things have become very difficult in the market due to the increase on duties at the port and the city's instability. We are pleading with the government to prevent our business from collapsing. We are aware schools will reopen from next week, and so we are hopeful parents will start purchasing stationery items from the 16th when the new academic year begins.
Akofa Atipo's report for Joy Business.